The Expendables. This band of badasses is led by founding member Barney Ross, a highly decorated veteran of the United States military. While the membership varies widely, once topping out at 22 members, the core group is composed of Lee Christmas, Brit, knife fighter, second in command, unlucky in love, Gunnar Jensen, Swede, giant, genius, self-medicates with alcohol and street pharmaceuticals. Yin Yang, Chinese, rage quits the team every year or so. Back for now, he's broke. Toll Road, American, neurotic. Small unit combat operations are his version of group therapy. Members come and go, but there's always a need for rough men to commit violence so that civilized people can sleep in peace. And the Expendables are just the men for the job. What's going on, Big A, with another video, and in this video I'll be reviewing The Expendables Go to Hell, which was an Indiegogo campaign by Splatto Comics, aka Diversity in Comics, aka Comics Matter, aka your boy Zach, aka Richard C. Meyer. The story is by Sylvester Stallone and Chuck Dixon. The script is by Chuck Dixon and Richard C. Meyer. The main art is by Nolan, colours by Daniel Brown, and letters by Carlos M. Mangual. I hope I said that right. The review will be split into separate sections, art and story. So let's get into it. The art is serviceable. It does what it needs to do. It's not the greatest art that you'll ever see, but it is pretty good and consistent throughout. There are a couple of side stories in there, or what's referred to as side missions in the contents page of the graphic novel, and that's where like the artists change. It's not really all that noticeable apart from the story involving Gunnar, because that one is quite different from all the other styles that are featured in the book. I kind of wish there were separate kind of chapters so you could differentiate as to where one artist began a story and ended their story and another artist begins and ends theirs. I think that would make things a little bit cleaner, because at some points it's just changing without any warning whatsoever. It does a good job of having the likeness of the actors as well. You know who everyone, you know that's Stallone, you know that's Jet Li, you know that's Dolph Lundgren. You know who everyone is, so you don't get confused. Even with like all the villains and historical figures from history, and you know historical villains from history as well. You know who all they are because they actually look like their real life counterparts as well. So all in all, the art is pretty good. It's fine. Some styles are more complementary and kind of fit together better. Others are good but not so much. So you're getting a few different things in there, and it's all fine. Do me a favor, if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. Hit the bell notification as well. Give the video a like also, so hopefully the algorithm can bless me and get it more views. Now the story. The story is absolutely bonkers. It pretty much involves, yeah, the Expendables go to hell. That's literally what happens in the story. They're in a firefight somewhere abroad, and yeah, something happens which causes them to die, essentially. And yeah, they get to meet various historical war figures, or figures from war. Various historical war-related figures they get to meet throughout history. They also meet a few other Expendables in hell as well. And it all gets a bit crazy. Like, the thing moves at like 1,000,000 miles an hour. You never know when someone can just like appear and then disappear and reappear. And it's all like, it's weirdly kind of disjointed but all quick, because someone will just show up and they'll be like, oh, where have you been? Oh, I've been in my own story. Okay, let's start shooting these demons. And then next thing you know, someone else comes in. Oh, where have you been? Oh, I've been doing my own stuff. And it's just like back and forth. And sometimes people get left behind for no reason, but then I could have sworn that they were just there a second ago, so wouldn't they have tried to sit? And it's just 1,000,000 miles an hour, loads of different things, thing, until we get to the end. And then the end is just kind of like BS in a way. Like, I tried to be nice. It's the thing that happens at the end that kind of like ends the story kind of comes out of nowhere, and it's just kind of a bit wish-washy, as we'd say here in the UK. It's a bit wish-washy, and it was very odd. But overall, story-wise, it's a bit of a mixed bag. I think some of the individual stories are better because they're kind of delving more into character, like Lee's story. But this whole kind of like, going across hell and fighting demons and stuff wasn't wasn't the best thing in the world. Wasn't the best story for the Expendables. It was a very unexpected story. Could it have worked any better? I mean, I don't know. I don't think it really added anything to the franchise, nor do I think it took anything away from the franchise. It was just kind of like an interesting experiment, I guess. So, yeah, it was entertaining, but it wasn't anything that I'd go back to read again. So in conclusion, it's good art, although a little bit disjointed, as it should have had chapters to separate the art and also the story as well. The story is absolutely insane. It's just constant historical references, even references to actors as well, and stuff like that. And it just moves forward whether you're with it or not, whether they've really explained as to how everything works, which they do try and do a good job of. But yeah, the rules of hell are a bit are a bit strange as well. Yeah, it was just a weird experience. I can't lie. It was weird. It was a weird book. Am I gutted that I like backed the campaign? Am I disappointed? No, not at all really, because I've definitely spent money on things that I actually dislike. Whereas this was just a bit odd, to say the least. Yeah, that was my review of Expendables Go to Hell. Let me know as to whether you backed the book and if you've read it. Leave a comment, do all the things, and as always, stick around and watch another review.